Come to me. There you are. Zonk. Hello, Mills here. This is my little underground way station where I started strip mining in that new section here, and in my effort to get slime, I started excavating this giant room here. It goes about 3 chunks that way and 4 chunks that way, becoming 5, or starting a 5th one over there. And yeah, and after going out that way and saying, oh, that's a long way to hike back over here to my little base here, I said, well, let me start digging in this direction. And wouldn't you know it, right here, this chunk right here is a slime spawning chunk. So I went in that direction, went in all these directions here. This one right here, right next to my base, turns out was a slime chunk. And as you can see, as I started digging in that direction, so 2 chunks away, that one is also a slime spawning chunk. So, and this one I discovered just because I heard the slime. There was a one of these patched cobblestone holes here was big enough to spawn a super size slime, and that's how I discovered that this here was also a chunk. So so I've got 2 here now, but this one here is super close to the rest of the base, so that's good, because these were all dead. They all had nothing. These were little sort of waiting rooms here that I just sort of sat in and idled in to see if I could spawn something. But see, I went all the way over here. Not a lot of resources in this giant swath here, by the way, too. You'd think I'd have stacks and stacks of diamonds and other things, but I kind of don't. But see, I was over here working on lava removal, and I was working my way all the way over to here, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of far. Let me start working in the other direction. And it did eventually pay off. Yeah, this is more lava removal over here. So yeah, just a bunch of work. And it was right there, right in my own backyard, so to speak. This was a discovery here too that I'm gonna have to revisit to excavate the magma that is here. So that's a thing that I did discover while mining all the way out this far. So that was a good find, because that's I think there was magma over my original base area, but I left it there because I don't know, it was in an awkward place in terms of mining and not drowning. So I just kind of left it there. But as you can see, there's a slime right there already, couple. So I already have a lot of slime balls. Where's that little guy? He's up there somewhere. Okay. But yeah, these chunks here, the walls are all the borders, the boundaries of the slime chunks, and then this is so that they can't hop over the fence. And you know, there've been a couple of bad guys that have shown up here and there, so I have to hit them from time to time. But yeah, so this one's gonna be the chunk I use for my slime farm. I know I don't need to use a diamond sword to kill these guys, but it's what I have on me. I went through a couple of diamond pickaxes. I had some efficiency on breaking ones, and I kept repairing them until it became too expensive to keep doing that. So yeah, I went through a few tools to get through all of this here. The other thing, though, that... Oh yeah, there's a creeper. So yeah, so this area is not ideally lit up, but that's okay because it's kind of entertaining. Occasionally things will spawn here and I have to deal with them. But now that I have my answer on where my slime chunks are, I may just... Well, first of all, I'm going to tear down all of these walls because I don't need them anymore and they're just kind of goofy looking. But maybe I'll light this a little better. And I don't know what I'm going to do down here, except that my strip mining is going to continue probably in the perimeter here so that I can keep getting resources. Let's see. A couple times I went to the surface, and well, one time I went to the surface and more sort of villager morons attacked me because, you know, I'm in this groove where I'm like working and working and working, and then I go to the surface expecting to just, you know, go to my farm and do something, and then all of a sudden there's some nunkheads there. The ones with the axes are really dangerous, and you know, I'm like, and I die. So I do carry my equipment with me, but you know, I'm just not in that frame of mind. You know, I got a shield, and I had the clock in my, you know, so that I could, you know, I can go to bed at appropriate times and in the dark. But anyway, the other thing that's going on is, as part of the slime chunk project, is this. Apparently, the spawn rates for slime will increase significantly if you expose the slime farm to the sky, because it does some sort of calculation where it looks for a opaque block above, and from there it starts to do some whatever math that it does. So you know, this is kind of a big chunk, but it certainly passes the time, and I'm definitely not above spending oodles of time mining out lots and lots of blocks. Gotta look out for bad guys now in the daytime. Ugh. But yeah, this is the chunk here, and you see I'm still carving it out, so I should be able to finish that up here soon. And this is certainly kind of ugly looking, but I have an idea for this that involves glass that I'd like to try out, to maybe make something pretty out of this thing. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have to shift my my mob farm over a little bit, because you can see where this chunk actually bleeds right into the edge of the beginnings of my mob farm. So this I'm probably going to shift over a little bit so that it's not crowding it quite so much. Yeah, so I got to cut into there. Of course, it'll also help if I keep lighting up all the caves in the area, which I've mostly done, but as you heard, there was a baby zombie somewhere. And so clearly there's some caves that need some lighting up. I have 2 more llamas here. It's a sad story, really, because a traveling merchant spawned right next to that giant hole, and he just sort of fell into it accidentally. I didn't push him or do anything. He just walked off the edge, and he left these orphan llamas here. It's a real tragedy. So I have 2 more llamas. I haven't named them yet. Apparently, I have one on a lead. I thought I had one on a lead. I don't know, maybe they're just hanging around now. This is a really strange looking chicken right here. Not sure how that happened. But every now and then, yeah, I come up here and mine this stuff here. The jack-o'-lanterns, of course, are very handy. So the only other note about the slime farm is that I think I'd like to try to drown them as a means of killing the slime, and so I need to test a few things out because of the way that water works now. I don't know if that's real practical. So I'm gonna experiment with some things. The other thing is, in order to move them where I need them to go, I can either start to practice using the dispenser, timed dispenser, so that it dumps water and pushes them off the edge, and try to get, you know, well versed in that. Or apparently there's another one where you just make an iron golem and put him in a little cage, and then the golem attracts the slime over. I kind of wanted to do it with parts that you would just find in an early game that doesn't require you to go to the Nether. I will soon enough, but I just kind of felt like I wanted to keep it as basic as possible. But the clock and dispenser thing, well, the dispensers I can make now, but the clocks require comparators and things that I need nether quartz for, so I'd have to go to the Nether for that. The other thing is that I now have access to magma blocks, although I haven't dug any up yet, so that one can help move water around, or move things around in water. But I think for my purposes it might be in the wrong direction. I'm not sure. It might be, I suppose I can drag them down and then get some hoppers fed, because I think items go through magma. Magma's a new block for me. I don't know exactly how magma works. So that's the status. All of this is still kind of ugly and just purely for functional purposes. But I'm going to keep digging out that slime chunk and see if I can't get that going. So I think I'm going to use just standard water conveyance. And I did find these magma blocks in the overworld. There were a couple of caverns that had them, so I dug them up, though they can go, you can get them from the Nether, I suppose. But I haven't been to the Nether yet. I'm trying to do this without going to the Nether. And yeah, so these magma blocks are causing damage. And let me jump up here. And then there's a hopper right down there, and lots of trial and error to make sure I understood where it goes with the hopper. It has to fall on top of the hopper, I guess. But then also dealing with this flow of water here. Let's block this. So there's a block of water there with a stream that's leading on top of the hopper. And if those half blocks were not there, the water would join and then it wouldn't flow. And so that wouldn't happen. They would just sit there and float. Like this. They just float there. Or in the case of the stuff over the magma, I guess it pulls it down. And so it negates that flow there. So half blocks here will block the water. And go into the hopper. So I'm at bedrock here. The only thing is that I need to, in order to have maybe a 3x3 killing floor here, I need to go up a level, which means I need to take all of this up one level, and then from there I start building up. So that's the current plan. This was when I was thinking I was going to use a lava blade, but I'm not sure that that's going to be... I'm not sure that I could make that work. And since magma does kill them, I did test that out, that might actually be better, because then it sucks the pieces under the half blocks and then just zooms them right into there. I don't know, the lava blade might have worked, but I actually went to my old world to look at the lava blade there to remind myself, and I noticed that it wasn't working on zombies. Zombies would come down and they would get stuck. Actually, hold on, before we do this, let's put this here. Oops. Oh, that's dumb. Come on. What was I going to do? I was going to put this here. Yeah, zombies. It wasn't killing zombies. They would just get stuck there. So there's something about lava blocks that changed. Or, I'm sorry, water blocks that changed. They don't bob up on top or something. I don't know. something different. I don't think the medium-sized ones can hop up here, but we'll find out. In fact, let's just do this just to be safe. Okay. Boof. They all have disappeared, and in here, he said, in here, yeah, okay, so that's working. And if I want, I think I can just get like one hit on the big one, and so when he dies, I can actually get XP from it too. I'd have to test that out and see. One hit, but then the magma kills them, maybe. So anyway, that works. That's good. And so I'm going to build this up, and you know, I only need to go 2 rows. In fact, it just worked just now. Maybe I don't need to go up a level. I mean, because as long as this one here is complete... Yeah, I don't know. And then if I'm going to use iron golems, maybe I'll have an iron golem here to make sure, because they'll try to swim. Like if I'm standing here, they'll just congregate right here. They won't move. They'll move against the water. So something needs to kind of pull them this way. I'd hate to build a bunch of stuff and then regret not raising it up a level. I mean, I suppose I could put magma blocks in these here, and then so that'll help do damage. Maybe I'll do that. I'll just leave it where it is. So anyway, just an update. So there may still be a reason to dig down one layer lower. And if I'm going to do that, let's see, if I'm going to do that with hoppers... I mean, if I'm going to do that, I may as well just do hoppers. But this, I was experimenting with the water conveyances here. And this water flow here, it would have to drop down 1. That's what the sign is blocking it, blocking this space here. It has to drop down 1 to get caught by this block, or this flow. If this sign wasn't here, all kinds of wacky things would happen with the... Oh, I guess it wouldn't. Alright, so the sign is not necessary. Or is it? Because now it has stopped there. Let's see. Maybe that was just because it got caught on the corner. Oh, I guess so. Alright, so this is just turning a corner. It doesn't have to turn a corner, but I wanted to see if I could, and because of the way water behaves now, it brings these up, where presumably they can be... How would they be moved once they're brought up, though? That's the only question. Let's see, if this was here... How would, because this is still water, they're just going to come up here to still water. Unless this can also be flowing water. So I don't know if this will work. Weird. Alright, well I don't know why this water source doesn't mess up the flow, but that's fine, I guess. Because then this could just be, this could be a hopper here. Do I have one? I do. Let's just make sure that's true. Yeah. So let's see, hopper empty. I had this drop down another level in order to create this little drop and keep some momentum, but maybe I don't have to do that either. Are those coming up? What did I do? Did I accidentally grab them? Oh no, they're there, okay. 1, 2, 3. Boy, they're fast. When going horizontally, they're fast. Alright, so maybe I don't need this sign. Glass. No, see, they're stopping short. They're not going all the way. So the water source block there is interfering with this. So let's put a sign back here. Well, I gotta get this stuff out of here. All right, we're going up again. So to turn this corner, it takes 2 drops. So as long as I don't turn a corner, which again I don't really have to turn a corner because I can just put the things anywhere I want at this point. Are you going up? Yes, eventually. All right, well, it's certainly doable. I do need to dig down at least one wherever this elevator comes up. So, yeah, there's bedrock right there. Although, let's see, I can have this... Well, geez, I can have this... I'd have to see if I can come over one more. And maybe there's no bedrock down here. Right here, there's no bedrock. Oh well, I'll have to figure out exactly the spacing on it. But this helps quite a bit, this new ability of items to go up, because I could take this, I presume, all the way up to the surface if I wanted to. Interesting. Alright, in my effort to keep this at the level that it's at, I figured out that I needed a run of two blocks right here, like this, in a straight line. And I also figured out that I needed the water that goes here and turns the corner. It needs to turn the corner onto at least 1 block so that it can preserve the momentum that way. And so I had to work around some bedrock over here. So I tried putting a sign here because there's 2 blocks right there. 2 blocks right there, but it wouldn't work because the sign and because, well, basically I put a sign below me here, put a sign there, and then this water just pooled and it was just stopped there. So I had to turn the corner. looking for a row of 2 blocks. There's bedrock right there, so that didn't work. But then here, finally, I found 2 blocks right there. So there's water source. Oh, the other thing too is I did water source blocks all the way up there. So I'm still not clear on whether or not they need to be source blocks or if they can flow. But the net result is that it works. So we toss things there. They zoom around. They keep some momentum going through 2 water source blocks, and then they float up the source blocks. And then presumably I can do what I did here in order to scoot that over to a hopper, and then we're in business. We're in business. Let's see, if I hit him once, do I get XP for everything? Come over here and get me. Or do I get any XP? Come on, little fella. Now, obviously, this part here isn't fully constructed yet. I was just testing out this whole thing. I don't think I got any XP, so doing just damage is not sufficient. Oh, wait. There's some XP. Huh. Can this guy come up this, Come to me. There you are. Zonk. Alright, so let me build this out and make it a little prettier than it is, and we'll see where we go from there. Alright, and hopefully this is the final iteration here. Curious if they can swim up here. Or if eventually they'll get dragged down. No. That one's a strong one. So I'll need something to lure them over this way. Ah, the hot foot. He's got the hot foot. And there they go. And swoop. Wow. That's crazy. Crazy. All right, so now more platforms and iron golems, and then I have to decide if I want to do the same over there and do the same over here in this other chunk that turned up. This one here with the 3 torches. This chunk. But I don't need that many farms. Maybe I'll just block those, that one and that one, so that they won't spawn, and we'll just focus spawning onto this chunk. That's probably easier to do. Yeah, so I need to probably dig out 3 by 16 all the way up here in order to make this the fall zone. And then I know all iron golems can be used to attract 2 floors at a time, so I'll have to figure out where to put them exactly and make my first iron golem ever. Never made one before. Yeah, this is, I'm glad that's coming together. Alright, well, we are up and running. I was just doing some idling, and in about 2 hours, so the lower right-hand corner here in this large chest is what I got while I was working on the project, and then the stuff on the top there is what I got when I was idling, and that's a lot. That's plenty, I think. The mob drops, I think they were from people, from mobs that fell. I think they just fell from the surface into the pit. So here it is working. I made my first iron golem and set it up and had him go. And And this is all coming up like it's supposed to, and it drops into here. And there they go. And so that's cool. This, I think, the distance that they see... Well, first of all, I don't think they actually see the golem from here. I think I'm going to make these iron fences instead of stone, because maybe they can actually see the golem more, because as it is, they have to kind of sort of wander around. I was watching them, and the ones that are over here, they just kind of meander and do nothing in particular, and then when they get to about here, sure enough, they see the golem, and then they go for it. I've got 4 levels here, so this one the golem's in sight right from the get-go, as you can see. You know what, and the golems aren't that expensive. I have a ton of iron. Maybe I'll just make 1 per level. Why not? I actually saw a slime jump and land on the edge right here and was harassing the golem, and then the golem just sort of like bopped him on the nose and sent him flying. So good for him. Here is this level here, which is duplicated. You can see I got 2. Actually, that guy I had to create twice because the space wasn't big enough, and he suffocated the first time I made him. So he just sat there and suffocated. Took a long time, but he suffocated, and that didn't work. And then here is... It's raining, of course. And here is the 4th level. I think I can add 1 or 2 more if I want to, but I think this is plenty. I think that the way that chest was coming along, I think that's going to be plenty of stuff. I just need to replace these with iron, and maybe that will make them more visible. I suppose if I wanted to go to the trouble, I could lower them by 1. Because see, if he was 1 lower, you'd still be able to see his head. And over here, maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should lower it by 1. Yeah, I'll give that a try and see if that does any better at attracting the slime over here. But otherwise, they just walk around randomly, and eventually they get close enough where they get interested in what's going on over here. So that's good. Yeah, so that's a little less than 2 hours worth, and just while I was working around, I managed to get all this. So I think I'm pretty well set for slime. Over here, I put half blocks over this entire area, and then I dug up to oh, do I need to dig up there? Oh no, that's outside. That's a different chunk. Yeah, so I dug this out so that it just led and exposed it to this level here. So this chunk is now dead to all spawning, including slimes. And then this one over here is still open for business, but that's my little idle dirt shack. This one here will still spawn slime, but I don't particularly care about them, I don't think. I suppose I could go put half blocks in there and wipe it out, but... Oh, look! Now, that skeleton had to have spawned there. So, yeah, I guess it's kind of dark in that spot. Oh, he's shooting my dude. That's not called for at all. Yeah, it's a little dark over here. Actually, it's dark. Oh, no, wait a minute. I got a pumpkin here. Why is it so dark? Yeah, 6, 7. It's dark. No excuse. It's just plain dark. My poor golem. Well, that would not be good if something snuck in here and started shooting. So maybe I'll just really light this up. Why take chances? And I could put more pumpkins in the floor up above, and that'll light both areas more, and I don't know, something like that. So cool. This eyesore, again, I'll be working on and trying to make it something more interesting. But I've got slime blocks. What am I going to do now that I have slime blocks? I don't know. So there's something going on up top also. Oh, there's some XP. Did I get any power tubo? Let's see. I have a way to look. I'm not sure if I can see all the floors, but yeah, see this big guy here, he's distracted. He doesn't see the golem. So I think I'm going to lower the golem by 1 block. Yeah, this should be fairly easy to do. I think I can just dig the block out from under them and go from there. All right, so that's cool. I'm going to be doing a little bit more mining. I started strip mining some more along here, starting at a lower level. But as you can see, these things are spawning with some regularity now. I did think for a moment, actually, I might put a timer and just use dispensers here to send water out and push the slimes over in this direction so they can see the golem. But I'll try lowering the golem first and see if that does the trick. See, because this slime hasn't seen the golem yet. And once he gets to about, if he gets to about the midway point, well, once he gets to about here, he gets real excited and he heads over that direction, and that's what's supposed to happen. So, anyway, so this worked out okay. Something different for me. And on to the next thing. And if you made it this far, hey, thanks for watching.